These are the tools that we will need to make a straight through and a crossover. First is a cable tester. We will use this to check if the connection is a straight through or a crossover and to know if the wirings are correct. So these are the parts where we will put the RJ45s. Next is the RJ45. These are RJ45s. This is where we'll insert the untwisted UTP cable. So we need 4 RJ45s because we'll be doing both the straight through and the crossover. Next is the UTP cable. So this is a Cat5 wire which we will use in this demo, but you can use a Cat5e or a Cat6 because it depends on how fast you need your connection to be. Lastly, the crimping tool. We're gonna use this to cut the cables and obviously to crimp the RJ45s. Now, let's proceed to the steps in making a straight through wiring. So we have here a 2 meter wire, so let's cut it in half because we need 2 1 meter wires for each cable wiring. You will need the crimping tool to do it. Using the crimping tool, remove the outer jacket on both ends of the cable, 1 inch from the tip. After removing the outer jacket, you will see color-coded twisted pairs. Untwist each pair and straighten it as much as possible. Use the T568B color pattern for both ends of the UTP cable. But take note that you can also use a T568A pattern for both ends. Follow the pin numbers indicated in this picture. Also, remember that this side of the RJ45 should face you when inserting the wires in it. Arrange the color-coded wires from left to right. Refer to the image at the upper right part of the video. While arranging the colors, make sure that the wires are straightened enough to be inserted in the RJ45. Compare the length of the wires with the length of the RJ45. Make sure to cut enough length of the wires to be inserted in the RJ45. Again, this side of the RJ45 should face you when inserting the wires. Check the tip of the wires inside the RJ45. Make sure that it reaches the copper pins. Lock the RJ45 using the crimping tool. Just a tip, push the cable as much as you can to push the wires further to reach the copper pins. One end of the cable is done. Just do the same process for the other end. Turn on the tester because we will use this to check if the cable is working. Then, plug both ends of the cable to their respective ports to start checking it. If the lights on your tester is blinking like this, then you're doing it right. Next, we're gonna do the crossover wiring. For the crossover, we will use the T568A and the T568B color pattern. The pattern on the left side is the T568B, while the one on the right side is the T568A. First, let's make the 568B pattern. Using the crimping tool, remove the outer jacket on both ends of the cable 1 inch from the tip. Once again, you will see color-coded twisted pairs. Untwist each pair and straighten it as much as possible. White orange, orange, white green, blue, white blue, green, white brown, and brown. Just straighten the wires again first. Again, just compare the length of the wires with the length of the RJ45. Make sure to cut enough length of the wires to be inserted in the RJ45. Make sure that this side of the RJ45 faces you. Check the tip of the wires inside the RJ45. Make sure that it reaches the copper pins. To ensure this, push the wires further inside. Once you've ensured that the wires are pushed enough, you can now crimp it. Now let's do the T568A pattern. Just do the same procedures again and we'll just change the color pattern for the pins. White, green, green, white, orange, blue, white, blue, orange, white, brown, and brown. After both ends are crimped, we can now test our cable. Note that the pattern of the blinking lights in a crossover is different from that of a straight through. This is how a correct crossover check looks like.